think it depends on what type of wedding you're having, how many people you're having, the venue that it's taking place. If you're doing a very formal wedding, I don't think a short gown is good. If you're very petite, you don't want a dress that is going to look weird because you're petite and the dress is short. I think that if it's the right dress, it's okay, and in the right occasion and the right wedding, it will work. I, once again, am a traditionalist, and I like that wedding gown. I like it to be, even if you're on the beach, I like to see a long gown. And if you're in a barn, and you're in a crystal dress with Swarovski crystals all over it, throw a chandelier up in the barn and make it work. So I think that the dress should really express who you are, and that the surroundings don't have to dictate the dress. But I do prefer a long dress over a short dress, I would say, unless you have really, great legs. Maybe it's your second wedding, maybe it's informal, maybe it's in your living room or your house or in your backyard, and for then it's okay.
Ok, perfecto.
Yeah.
Nos tenemos que ir a una pausa comercial rápidamente, otra vez. Randy Fenoli hoy en un show con Tuti. Vamos a la pausa y volvemos. Con Tuti. Gracias amigos por su sintonía. Hoy junto a Randy Fenoli, un programa muy especial, no lo puedo decir de otra manera. Y claro, es importante también hablar un poco de todo lo que ha desarrollado a través de su carrera. Uno de sus grandes éxitos, el programa de Say Yes to the Dress, entre otras cosas, el libro, otros programas. Has hecho muchas cosas, Randy.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I have done a lot of things. Yes, I was a hairdresser and a makeup artist. I've been an entertainer. I then was a bridal gown designer. I got into real estate. I was a personal chef. I've been a fashion director. I'm a reality TV, an author. And I am just beginning. I'm like ready for I'm like a serial entrepreneur, It's like I'm always waiting for the next thing because I get bored kind of quickly, so I'm always looking for what's next. And I wrote Randy to the Rescue myself. That was the show that I pitched to the network. So I'm very proud of that. And I've written 10 more that I'm getting ready to pitch, and hopefully they'll like one of them. And yeah, I've got a lot of things coming up in the future that I'm really excited about.
Qué rico poder ir por la vida comiéndosela, ¿no? A bocados grandotes, como un pastel de bodas, comiéndosela.
Yes.
A ver, hablemos un poquito del show. ¿Cómo surge la idea del show? ¿Te gustaba? ¿Te llamaba la atención? ¿Es lo que tú quieres que sea el programa?
Well, I think that originally it was kind of that so many people really never knew what happens in a bridal salon because it was kind of this private world that was only available to women and brides. And nobody really knew what went on behind those doors, So I think we opened up this Pandora's box. But I think beyond that, I think what really has made the show such a success is just the family dynamics, and that, whether you're a little girl and you're looking at the dresses because you want to be a princess, or whether you're a bride, you're looking at it for fashion, whether you're a mother looking at it because you're dreaming about your daughter getting, her on her wedding day, or a grandmother thinking about your granddaughters getting married or whatever. I think everyone can really relate to the show. Even guys watch the show. Oh my gosh, there's so many guys that watch the show. I don't watch reality TV shows. I personally don't like most of them because most of them are scripted, and ours is not. It's completely unscripted, and what you see really does happen. We don't force them to say things or throw things out for them to say. So I'm very proud of that it's authentic. And I think the show is really developed in a way that I'm just so proud that mothers and daughters can watch it together, and grandmothers and granddaughters. It's a family show, and there's so few shows out there today that they can do that. So I'm proud of the show today, I really am.
Qué bueno, hay diferencias en la manera en que cada una de las novias obviamente llega, te pregunta, pero ¿has notado tú, no sé, por diferencia de cultura o por diferencia de cultura principalmente, ¿existen diferencias?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, when we have different people from different parts of the country, different nationalities, they want, bigger dresses, or maybe they want something a little more traditional, or maybe a little more coverage, or, they don't care and they want to be like half naked, which is most of the gowns today, which if it was my daughter, I would kick her to the curb. I would not let her down in the aisle in most of those gowns they show today, right? I mean, if it's your daughter, would you let her, those dresses that are see-through? I mean, come on. But I do notice that there are, and what I like though is that there are those differences, and especially when they incorporate their nationality and their religious beliefs, and maybe they're marrying an Indian guy, so he's going to come in on an elephant and wear the traditional Indian dress with all the colors, for the wedding. So I think that's great that you know what, we've realized that the world is such a small place and that we're all coming together so quickly, especially with technology, that to blend weddings together I think is beautiful.
¿Alguna vez, no sé, ¿qué pasa, mejor dicho, cuando no te pones de acuerdo con la novia? Cuando la novia quiere algo que tú ves que no le queda bien, ¿qué pasa?
I have to say that this is the hardest thing that I have to do. That when I see a bride in a dress and I'm like, oh gosh, this dress is not, that she was just in the most perfect dress and everybody loved it and she loved it. And I'm like, yes, she looks gorgeous. And then she goes back in the room and she comes out and she's tearing up and crying and saying, oh my God, this is my dress, I love it. And all I see is her stomach poking out of the front of the dress. And I'm like, are you sure this is the dress? And she goes, yes, this is my dress. And I turn her sideways. I'm like, look in the mirror. Are you sure this is the dress? Oh yes, this is it, this is my dress. At this point, I have to let it go. Because I have to realize that what she sees in the mirror is completely different from what I see. And I want her to feel beautiful. And right at this moment, she's feeling beautiful. So she's going to own that dress. And I'm going to go home. I'm not going to sleep. I have lots of sleepless nights. But I have to let it go and realize it's her day. And if she feels beautiful, that's all I can ask for.
Wow, tenemos más preguntas de las personas que nos siguen. Así que pongo a rodar otra vez la ruleta y tú dices stop cuando quieras.
Stop.
Muy bien, vamos a ver. ¿Cuál es el peor error de una mujer al buscar su vestido de novia?
I think the worst mistake that she can make is, well, there's a lot of them, but I think choosing a gown that you don't feel 100% in and beautiful in. This is going to be the dress that is probably going to be photographed more than any other dress ever in your life, unless you're a celebrity on TV, walking the red carpet. Also, you're walking down the aisle towards the man you love more than anyone on the planet. You want to look good for him. So I think choosing the dress that makes you feel the most beautiful and that fits in with your story and that you love, and not listening to all the voices and trying to keep up with everyone else and going outside the budget and spending too much money so that you're in debt after the wedding. I think being true to yourself and finding the dress that you love is, I think, the most important thing.
¿Cuál es el mejor consejo que le puedes dar a una novia en que su mamá o su abuelita quieren que usen su vestido de novia?
Oh, well, I think, when they want to use their bridal dress and she doesn't, what I suggest to them is take the mother's dress, put it on, wear it for a photo shoot, and then have the pictures in black and white at the sign-in table at the wedding, so that people can see that she wore her mother's wedding dress, but she still gets to wear her own.
Es muy buena idea, nunca se me hubiera ocurrido.
And that way that the mother feels like she's worn her dress and the bride gets to wear her own. But when I have an entourage that's out of control, I actually got this from somebody in England, and I stole it, and I love it. I think it's brilliant. And when they're out of control on the sofa on the set, I'm like, listen, everyone, I want you to remember one thing. This is Diana Ross, and you are the Supremes, and you have one job: to ooh and ah on command. That's it.
Está muy bien, muy bien. Sí, es cierto, porque ahí a veces todos quieren participar, todos quieren meter su cuchara, como decimos, ¿no? Y opinar y decidir incluso. Y a veces la novia es la que menos decide. Y tiene que ser su día, su momento, ¿cierto? Bueno, Randy, seguimos con más cosas. Tenemos otra dinámica. Y lo que vamos a hacer es, a través de unas rosas que nos van a dar, vamos a decir si nos gusta o no nos gusta el vestido que eligió una celebridad. O sea, así me voy a poner yo de diva para decir si me gusta o no el vestido de una celebridad. A ver, ¿tú qué opinas? ¿Sí? Vamos a ver. Sofía Vergara. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
A mí me gustó mucho.
She's so beautiful,
sí,
and I think the dress is traditional, and I think it works what I can see. Okay. Once again, here you have a beautiful traditional dress. I don't know who it is. Oh, Amal. Oh. Yes. I didn't even have to count on that.
Sí, a mí también me parece muy linda. Muy elegante, ¿no? Muy... muy real.
You know what? When you're marrying George Clooney, you better be, right? Oh, this
Kate
is
Middleton.
Kate Middleton. And let me tell you, I think that she had so much pressure. First of all, it was the most watched wedding in the world. And I actually was hosting it live from Times Square. And when she walked out in this dress, I thought it was so brilliant because she had to have a dress that was grand enough for Westminster Abbey, but didn't overpower her. And if you look at her dress and Princess Diana's, they're really the same. Both long sleeve, both had veils, both had tiaras, both had big ball gowns, but they're completely different dresses. I love Princess Diana, but that dress was the 80s and it was too much dress for her. Couldn't even see her. But I think Kate nailed it, so I'm gonna give her, yes!
Me too. Yo también.
One of my most favorite dresses ever. Just because I think there was so much pressure on her and she was able to really pull it off beautifully. And her bouquet, I don't know if you know this, in her bouquet she had all flowers of England and, you know, a sprig of myrtle, because every royal carried the sprig of myrtle, and one of the flowers was called Sweet William.
Ah, qué lindo.
How could you not love that? She was beautiful, very smart.
Sí, yo también. Nos tenemos que ir a una pausa comercial. Nos estamos comiendo el tiempo aquí junto a Randy Fenoli. Nos vamos a la pausa y volvemos con más.